Eminem just came out with his new music video Fall, where you see the notification messages popping up of After Effects and import the video you'd like the message to appear. I'm going to create a text message in After Effects, but you can always use an image. First, I'm going to create a new comp and draw a round-edged rectangle to create a message bubbles shape. This will cover the whole comp. You can make the rounded edges as big or as small as you'd like under the Properties Round tab, completely up to you. From here, I'm going to change the colour to make it look more like a message. What I'm going to try is, to do this, I'm going to use the 4 colour gradient and move each of the points to each side of the rectangle. I'm also going to change all 4 colours. I'm going to take the first 3 and pick by eye a light bluish colour. However, the bottom colour has to be white. From here, I'm going to add text. The name of the app that goes on the top here. The stamp time will go on the far right, which will be smaller. The name of the person who sent you the message in bold, and the text message itself. Lastly, we'll add the message logo, which you can Google and download. That's it for the message. Now we'll create a new comp using the footage that we have. We now have to track this clip in order for us to place the message to track. I'm going to click on Tracker and click on Camera Track. If you can't see this Tracker tab, go to Windows Tracker and it'll place this into your panel. This is going to take a while. So you can leave the computer to do its thing and go grab a cup of tea. Once completed, go to the effects control and you'll notice the 3D camera tracker has been applied. If you press play, you'll see the tracking points in the clip. You can use any of these points to track the message too. So here I'm going to select this track. Right click on this and select create null and camera. This now creates a camera that follows the movement of the footage, whereas the null object keeps hold of the transform information. We can now bring the message into the comp. Before you start anything, make sure you enable 3D in this layer. We'll now open the null object and copy the transform keyframe by copying Command C and pasting them, Command V, into the message comp. This will turn the opacity to 0, but just turn it back up to 100, and you'll see that the message is now tracked. We can now play to see the message follow this track. I'm going to place this message as if it was coming from the car. I'm also going to move the anchor point. You can now set the place and size you want it to be and start from. From the start point, I'm going to set the scale down to 0, move 2 frames forward and set it back to the size I want, in this case 100. Even though this animation is short, we will still need to enable motion blur by first clicking here and then enabling it globally here. There's one last step to this. This message box normally looks like a glass panel, so we'll need to add some blur. First thing we'll do is duplicate the video layer and add a Gaussian blur and increase it to about 20-30% depending on your clip. This now affects the whole shot rather than just behind the message. To fix this, you'll need to duplicate the message box and add a fill effect to the bottom message. In the effects panel, change the fill color to white. This now gives you a white mask, perfectly matching the message box and animation. All that's left is to move the blurred shot under the mask and change the track matte to alpha. If I turn the message back on, you can see that the blur now only affects the message area. One last thing to change would be the opacity box. I'm changing it down to 60. And add a noise effect to match your phone. That's it, guys. I'm back on the 2-week schedule, so click the subscribe and like button and see you in 2 weeks.